You say I'm a little nervous. You could see back there is the table and everyone's setting up. I got my microphone ready to go. So yeah, let's just have some fun. Just being here is a win already, and hopefully run good. But yeah, just being here is a win. So anyways, let's head in there. Hopefully get some good content and let's do it. All right, let's do this. Playing with Phil Galfond, definitely absolutely insane. I buy in for $1,000. We go with King 5 off, 6-4 off, 10-3 suited, Ace 8 off, 5-3 off, and we got the first hand, King 4 suited in the hijack. Make it $20. Now the button, Kenny, makes it 65, folds to me. And yep, I just let it go. And indeed, he had Ace King suited, 6 deuce off, 9-5 off, Ace 7 off, 10-3 off, Jack 4 off. Now in a small blind with a suited one, Ace 3 suited. Under the gun, Kenny makes it $20. And yeah, not going to 3-bet under the gun and not going to fold the suited ace on the stream. So I called big blind calls as well. Flop is deuce, 9, 6. So when Kenny bets $30, I just let it go. And yep, he had pocket kings. 8-5 off, not a cutoff with 4-3 suited. Under the gun makes it $20. And yep. Honestly, if something, I'd prefer to 3-bet, but in a moment, don't want to fold, want to get in hands. I call, everyone else folds. Flop comes king, 3, deuce. So, not the worst. I got middle pair and backdoor straight draws. He checks. And I don't have much experience playing with Will, but I thought for the most part he'd be betting a king. So let's bet for value and protection. I make it $20, and he check raises to 80 that I was definitely surprised. And honestly, I like my hand here in a way that I'm blocking 2 pairs and sets, and I got backdoors to go with it, and I could turn my hand into a bluff if needed. And yeah, maybe he has a flush draw himself, and he's using that as a bluff, and we're good. So I do call. Turns a 6, that's very nice. Now I'm blocking the nuts, that is a straight, and I got a gut shot. So when he bets $85, now I was starting to think he doesn't have nothing too strong, honestly, because I think it'd been a lot bigger here if he had nutted hands. So not going anywhere because I thought, or he has a medium strength hand, or he's bluffing. So I do call. River is an ace. So we don't get there. We just have a 3, but now he bets $125. And that size just really seemed like they're trying to get the showdown. So in the moment, it seemed like a hand that wasn't strong enough to call an all-in. And I think raising all-in in position looks super damn strong. And hey, we got blockers to the nuts, so let's do it. I rip it all in for $740. And he does let it go. And as you can see, I was actually good. He had a queen 8 suited, so he had a backdoor flush draw himself. I think Lee didn't get there, so we didn't actually need to bluff. But hey, don't mind bluffing just in case. Let's move on now. I got a premium ace king suited in the hijack. I make it $20 and just the big blind calls. Flop is nice. Ace 8 jack, so top pair, top kicker. I make it $20 and he calls. Turn is a 9. That does bring in 2 pairs and straights, but still I think my hand is good enough to keep on betting. I make it $80, and this time he lets go what was 8-5. So flop middle pair, that was no good, good fold by him. And we are the top winner right now, up $315. So definitely feeling really good starting strong like this. Let's move on. Queen 9 off, Jack 8 off. Now I got 10-8 off in the button. Sure, I make it $20. Small blind Danny makes it 85. Big blind Kenny. They are brothers, if you don't know them, the Global Brothers. They are definitely aggressive, and he makes it $210. So, yep, I'm good. I fold my 10-8 off. And if you're curious, Danny rips it all in. Kenny calls, and Danny has ace-5 of suited. Kenny has pocket tens, and Danny hits an ace. So Danny will be up a chunk, and let's move on. Now I'm under the gun. I got king 7 suited. Good enough. $20. Big blind. That's Branson calls. So we go heads up to a 10, 9, queen flop. So not the worst. I got a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw and an overcard. So when he checks, I see bid for $20. And once again, I get check raised. He makes it 70. And yep, with backdoors, and I got a gut shot. I'm not going anywhere yet, and we are, we're on stream. This is for content, so I definitely think people are going to be finding more check raises, so I do call. Turn is hopefully good. Is a jack. So I do hit my gut shot, but the flush does come in, and now he doesn't slow down. He puts $125. So, yep, once I call a flop and I actually turn it straight, even though a lot of his check raises Our flush draws I got there, I can't go anywhere yet. I call. River is a 5. Yeah, so now any club is a flush, and I don't have one of those. But after a little bit of thinking, you see good news when he checks, I check back, and we are good. It's Jack 3. So we're good the whole way. Moving on to the big blind, I got Jack 7 off. Small blind Branson calls, and yeah, not a very pretty hand. I check. Flop is King A7. So hey, bottom pair and a backdoor straight draw. He bets $10 and not loving it, but not going anywhere yet. I call. Turn is a 9. Now I bet $40. And yeah, bottom pair here. I definitely think he has a stronger range because maybe he's calling a little more ace X than I'm just checking. So I do let it go. And he indeed bluffed us since he had his queen 6 off. Now to show the VPIP stats, and I'm the lowest with 21%. That's actually not the worst, but hey, I don't want to be on the bottom. Let's try to pump up the hands we play. And as well, we're doing the Nick game. If you don't know what that is, basically it's a game. Everybody gets a chip. And when you win a hand, you get rid of the chip. Last player left with it has to pay everybody money. This game, it's $25. We're playing 6-handed, so if you're the last player that hasn't won a hand, you basically lose $125. So hopefully we could go without losing any of those. Now I'm going to cut off with ace 10 off. Hijack makes it $20. I 3-bet to 80 and he folds. And he had king 7 off, and there goes my nit chip. So that's definitely nice. Someone loses. We went through a bunch of hands, so I get $25. And once again, we have it again. And I'm in a small blind. 4 deuce off. And hey, this is a spot that could raise. And if he folds, there goes my nit chip. And I don't have to worry about having to pay anyone. So let's do it with this absolute garbage. I make it $20. And a big blind Kenny does call. Flop. Ace 10 9. Most strong hands I just think will be 3-bet me pre-flop. So I think I get a lot of folds if I bet here. And that is what I do. And he lets it go. And of course he did. He has 7-5 off. So, yep, got sticky pre-flop. Thankfully, he didn't hit. And we lose our nit chip again. Button 10-8 suited. Cut off. Makes it $20. And let's get our VPIP up. I call. Small blind, big blind call. And yep, I just missed. So when someone bets, I let it go. And now we're up $570. So definitely things going very smoothly. Just, yeah, so far so good. Now to hijack. Queen 9 suited. I make it $20 and get the cutoff and big blind to call. Flop. King 5 king. So, some backdoors. Out of position, my strategy is a check. That is what I do. And Danny, he bets in the cutoff. $25. Falls to me. And maybe I could have got a little sticky here with my backdoors, even consider turning into a bluff, honestly, just in the moment. I didn't even think about it. Probably could be a good candidate, but I do let it go. And indeed, he had pocket 4s that we could have put some pressure on, but we did not. And now I'm under the gun, king, queen off, you get $20 and just that big blind calls. Flop is 9-4-4. He checks, and I've been under the gun. I just have all the overpairs here, so I have more strong hands, even though maybe he has more trips, I have more overpairs. So I wouldn't mind just sleeping small here, but the moment I check back, turn is a 10. He checks again, and now I got a gut shot. I got the king of spades, so if the flush comes in, I can represent that. If the jack, of course, and if a king and queen comes out, I'm probably good. So a lot of good rivers I could bluff on. So yeah, I make it $25, and he does call. River does not help us, but it's an 8 of spades. So backdoor flush comes in, he checks, and we got the king of spades. Let's go for it. I make it $85. He goes to the tank finally. Does fold. Let's go. And he had jack 10 off, so we got him off with top pair. That's definitely a very nice outcome. And let's move on. Bluff's just getting through so far. That's definitely amazing. Hopefully we get some value too, though. Now I got pocket 4s in the big blind. I call a bet. Don't flop a set. So when someone bets, I just let it go. Better pocket pair now. Pocket 9s in the small blind. Make it $20. Now the big blind Danny 3-bets a 75. And yep, not going anywhere. I call. Flop is king 5-6. So, yeah, overcard to my pocket pair as usual. Definitely not the best. That's a king, but hey, could be worse. I check. He bet $60, and I think he's a C-bet range here, and he could have plenty of worse hands. I'm not going anywhere. I call. Turn is nice. It's another king, so less likely he has a king himself. So when I check, and he bets $200. Yeah, in the moment, I've never played with Danny before, but for what I looked online about his game, he seems to be on the aggressive side. So in a spot that he 3-bet pre-flop, that he just has way stronger kings than I do, I just think he could be having a lot of bluffs here, so I do call. River is a 7. That does bring in a backdoor flush. I check. He bets $410. And yeah, I got the 9 of diamonds. That is something. I'm blocking some flushes, that definitely could be his value, and just blinds against blinds. I don't know. In the moment, I just thought, Danny, he is definitely very capable for what I saw to just be aggressive and one stream to just try to be winning pots here. So I just not believing it. I do flick in the call. And yep, see the bad news when indeed he did flop a king. Yes, king, jack, turn trips. And that will be good. That will be enough to get me in the red, down $140. Yeah, he's doing very good, but it is what it is. Plenty of time to go. And I got a pretty one now. Ace queen suited in the button. Cut off. Branson make it $20. I 3-bet to 80, and he lets go his 10 deuce suited. 7-4 suited, 6-5 off. Now the button again, 7-6 suited. Under the gun, Phil makes it $20, and let's go. Have not played a pot against him yet. Let's do it. I call. Big blind Kenny calls as well. Flop is 9-7-6. So middle pair, a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw. Definitely pretty nice. Now things are interesting since Big blind Kenny leads for $30. Phil calls on to me. And this seemed like a pretty nice spot. Honestly, I don't know what Kenny's lead strategy is here, but my hand seemed like a great candidate to raise and turn into a bluff. And I'm putting Phil into a pretty shitty spot. He's stuck in between, and I think it gets through a lot. And if it doesn't, I have plenty of good turns and rivers I could just go crazy on. So let's do it. I make it $140. Kenny in the big blind does fold what was ace-7 off on to Phil. And yep, not getting through yet with him since he does flick in the call. Turn is a queen. He checks. And yep, with my hand blocking two pair, blocking sets, blocking straights, I'm not going to slow down. Let's keep it going. How often do I have the chance to bluff Phil Galfond? Honestly, I prefer betting here, ripping it all in on the river, and him calling than me not trying to do that. At least here I have a chance to bluff him. Like, when is this ever happening again? I may never have the chance, so let's do it. I bet $250. He goes into the tank. I'm just, please let it go. I want to have the story that I bluffed Phil Galfond. That would just be crazy. Kind of like the Rounders story where the Matt Damon character bluffs Johnny Chain. This is my time. Please, let's see if I can bluff Phil Galfond. He tanks and tanks and tanks, and finally does fold. Let's go. What a moment. And I did get him off of top pair since he had 9-8 suited. So he had top pair and a gut shot, and he did let it go. So wow. Yeah, this will definitely be something I'll always remember because, yeah, I mean, Phil Galfond, I look up to him like crazy. He's just one of the best players in the world. So just having the opportunity to play with him and actually being able to bluff him is definitely pretty insane and surreal. And hey, some good news. I get my VPIP up to 30%. That's definitely on the pretty high side. Let's go. Now I got the straddle going on. I'm in a small blind with 4 or 5 suited. Hijack, Phil, limps, cut off limps, button folds on to me, and yeah, definitely be like raising here in a moment. I don't know why I just called. Big blind calls. Now under the gun straddle, Kenny makes it $120. Now cut off. Will that limped. Limp 3-bets at $300. So I definitely can't call. I do let it go. Let's move on to King 3 suited, 10-3 suited, Jack 6 off, Jack 6 off. Now I got the premium again. Ace King suited in the small blind. Hijack Phil makes it $30. Button Branson 3-bets at 85. So let's go. Let's call for a bet. Yeah, the sizing I made it, definitely not loving it. Thinking back, I made it pretty huge, $360, and everybody ends up letting it go. As you probably expect when you make it so massive. Not sure what happened with that size, but anyways, let's just move on. The King 6 off, Jack 3 off, Jack 5 off, Ace 7 off, 8-5 off, 10-7 suited, 9-5 suited. Now to cut off with Queen 10 off, $20. Button Danny 3-bets to 70 onto me. And with the net game going on, he had a chip, just thought he could be going pretty wide, and he's aggressive. But Queen 10 off definitely seemed pretty down there. I mean, maybe consider turning it into a bluff or a bet not calling. But yeah, in the moment, I just let it go. And indeed, he was going wide since he had 7-6 off that gets through, and he loses his chip. Now the hijack with 8-3 suited. Straddle is going on. And screw it. Let's try to get that VPIP up. I make it $30. I get that button and under the gun to call. Flop is King, Jack, Ace. Checks to me, and yeah, this board just definitely smashes my range. I get $30, and only under the gun calls. Turn is a 10. Yeah, not the best. It's now any queen is a straight and does bring in a flush. But if he was getting sticky with a jack or a weak king, betting here, I definitely think I could get that to fold. So I make it $80. And we see the pretty bad news when I get check raised to $300. So, yep, just letting it go. And indeed, he turned this flush with a 7-5 suited. Yeah, let's move on. Jack 3 off, Queen 4 off. Now shows that we're down $30. Ace 6 off, not a cutoff. Pocket sevens. I'm going to get $20. And I get Kenny to call in small blind and fill in the big blind. Flop is 9, Queen, King, checks to me. And yeah, I check back. Turn is a jack. Checks to me again. And yeah, now I decide to turn my pocket sevens into a bluff. I make it $20 and only Kenny calls a small blind. River is a 4. He checks, and yeah, when a backdoor flush comes in, I mean, maybe he's betting the turn with a flush draw. I don't know. In a moment, I just give up. I check back, and we see the pretty amazing news. My pocket sevens on this board is actually good since he has 8-6 of hearts, so he had a flush draw that missed. And yeah, definitely a really weird line on my end on this one. Thankfully, it works out, and we lose our nip button again, so we're safe. King 10 off, Queen 6 off. Someone loses net game, so we get $25, but we get the button again, so we got to win a hand. Doesn't take long, though, since I'm in a big blind strategy is going on. I got Ace 10 suited. Small blind Branson calls. I make it $80, and they fold. So there it goes. That was quick. Queen 8 off, Queen 5 off, King 10 off, King 4 off, Jack 8 off, King 4 off. And I show the stats at pre-flop raises, and I'm at 19%. That's not the worst. At least I'm not the lowest. Some time has gone by. Someone lost a nick game, and now it's just down to me and Will. So that really influences this hand where I got 10-6 suited. Hijack Will. He raises, and as I mentioned, if he wins this hand, I gotta pay everyone $25. That's $125, not going anywhere. Definitely would have preferred just a 3-bet, but in the moment I just call, show this big blind Kenny. Flop comes 9, 4, 3. Checks to me, and yeah, I'm pretty whiffed. I got some backdoor straight draws, but not much. But I think Hijack Will, he really wants to win the nick game here, right? So I don't think he's gonna be slow playing. I think he's gonna be betting his top pairs, his strong hands, just trying to take it down. So I think he probably just doesn't have nothing that strong. So let's bet. I make it $35. Folds to him. And he's not going anywhere yet. He calls. Turn is a king. That brings in the flush. He checks. And here we are with a 10 high. I think if he had a flush draw himself on the flop, he would have bet or at least consider check raising. And hopefully he doesn't have a king. Let's keep it going. I make it $100. And once again, he calls. River is a 7. So here we are with absolutely nothing. He checks. And honestly, in the moment, I mean, maybe I'm running into a king that just calls here. But I just thought, the way he played, I don't think he has many strong hands, and I'm betting twice. The flush comes in. There's just not that many bluffs, but the thing is, the nick game is going on. So if I want to get him to fold, if I was going for value, I got to get really damn big as well, because in the nick game, when you win and give away your chip, you got to show your hand. And every time I've been showing my hand post-flop, I've been bluffing. So I think I got a very aggressive image. So maybe I should just give up here. But in a moment, I'm like, fuck it. I got 10 high. I think he's weak. And I don't think there's too many bluffs here. But let's go big. I make it $600. He's thinking, please fold. But finally, he does call with Queen 4 off. He flopped middle pair, and even though the flush come in, overcards come in, straights come in, since 5-6 is a straight 2, every draw gets there, and he still calls. Yeah, definitely I don't think it helped me out that we had the nick game going on, and every time I was showing my cards, because you have to when you win, I was mostly bluffing. I think I had a pretty maniac image. Because, yeah, I think that bluff almost always works, but credit to him, even though he knows I was playing super aggressive, that is still a really, really hard call to make. So, yep, props to him, hell of a call. And that brings us a bunch in hole, because next hand, I got King 10 off in a hijack. I make it $20, small blind fill, 3 bets to 90, and I fold, and we are now in the hole, $795. Yeah, it started so well, but our biggest bluff of all did get caught. But here's what it is. Plenty of time to go. Nick game's going on. Pretty action. So let's just focus and keep it going. I got Queen Jack off and under the gun. I'm going to get $20. And Phil again in the button. 3-bets me to 80. And yeah, I definitely want to play with him because that's the main reason to be here in this game. But just these hands playing out of position, I just think I gotta let him go. So that is what I do. And he did have ace-9 off. Now, I have that, but better ace-9 suited in the big blind. Straddle is going on. Hijack Kenny makes it $40. Button calls. I call, and so does under the gun. Flop comes deuce king 4. So yep, when button bets $40, we completely miss and let it go. Let's move on. Next hand in the small blind, king jack suited. Straddle is going on. Button makes it $40, and yep, definitely a good candidate to 3-bet. I make it $165. Folds to him. And he rips it all in for $865. Yeah, geez, definitely things aren't going great. And yep, anyways, this is a very pretty hand, but it's not pretty going all in with it, so I do let it go. And he had pocket 9s. That honestly, I was pretty surprised when I saw that. I'd expect it to flat, but again, I just see my image. They just think I could be wide, and against a wide range, 9s is definitely doing good, going all in, I guess. And yep, let's try to win the next one. Let's not give up. 8-4 off in the button, $20, and get the small blind to call. Flop is 7-7 deuce. Checks to me, and yep, I got 8 high, and he misses a shit ton on this board, and I have plenty of sevens myself, so I bet $20, and he calls. Turn is a queen. He checks, and honestly, I wouldn't mind barreling here. In the moment I do check back, river is a 3. He bets $120, and I let it go. And thankfully, I didn't try to keep it going since he had a 7 with his 8-7 off. 9-3 off, and with those few more hands, now we're down $1,190. Definitely not going the right direction, but again, we came here to play. This is so lucky that I'm here in the first place. So even though I run completely horribly, I am still happy to be here. And it's not that I'm running horribly, since most of my loss is from that huge bluff. And anyways, let's keep it going. The small blind straddle is going on, and I got 9-3 suited. Let me get $30. I just under the gun. That's Kenny calls. Flop is king, queen, queen. So, hey, there you go. I flop a flush draw, and out of position I check. He checks back. Turn is a 6, and I start betting. I make it $40, and he lets it go. And it makes sense. He had 9-7 off, and there goes our net button. So at least we're not going to lose that one next time. King 4 off, 6-3 suited, ace 5 off, king 5 off, king deuce suited. Now the small blind pocket 8s. Cut off. Will makes it $25. I call, big blind calls, and flop is beautiful. 8, ace, 7, floppy middle set on an ace high board, and I'm just loving this. I was just thinking, okay, I built up my image of a maniac for this moment when I actually have value. I'm gonna get paid. Checks for the cutoff. He bets $30, and let's do it. I check raise 120, falls to him. And he lets it go. Yeah. Definitely nice. Flop in a set, but get no action since, yeah, he just had king high. Let's keep it going. 10-9 off. No, our VPIP is higher. 28%. Definitely not bad. 5 deuce off. King 7 suited. Probably would have liked to raise that, but anyways, I did let it go in a moment. 8-3 off. Down the button. 8-4 suited. I'm not raising king 7 suited, but this one, let's do it. I make it $20. Now the small blind Danny 3-bets to 120, and yep, I let it go, and he had pocket 6s. Next one, 9-8 suited in a hijack. Straddle is going on, so I make it $30 and get the button, big blind, and under the call. Flop is promising 7, 10, 5. I flop it open in a straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. Things get interesting. It's now under the gun. Leads for $50. And definitely wouldn't mind raising here because I had plenty of good turns. And if the other players had a 7, had a 5, even a weak 10, him leading and me raising puts him in a really shitty spot. So I would have definitely liked raising, but the moment I do just call, other players fold, turn is a king. Now he slows down and checks. And yeah, would have loved to be betting here. I got 9 high and leads a lot of time on just weak hands that I could get the fold on a king high turn, but don't ask me why. In the moment I do just check back. I guess I thought he was trapping here, thinking if I had a king I bet, and he go for check raise, and I do check back. River is an 8, so hey, now I got showdown value. So when he checks again, now I think very likely he could be leading with some weak 5 or 7, and now I'm good with the 8, so I don't think I need to bluff. I check back, and indeed, I am good since he flopped bottom pair, and that is no good since we rivered it and we'll take it down. Jack 4 off, not in the cutoff. Jack 8 suited, straddle is going on. I make it $30 and get that button to call, and so does under the gun. Flop, ace, ace, deuce, checks to me, and yep, I got all the strong aces myself. I bet $25, and we see the amazing news when they all let it go. Jack 8 off, ace 9 off, 10-7 off, button again, 7-6 suited, $20, and I get the big blind to call. Flop is king, queen, jack, so yep, I miss, but the bet range, I'm gonna get $20, and he lets it go. King 3 off, and that is it. And we end up down $805. So hey, at least towards the end, we got some of it back, since at a lower point we were down over 1,000. And that will be the experience of playing cash with Phil Galfond in Las Vegas in Poker Night in America. What a dream, and with other pretty awesome content creators. And anyways, let's just rack up, cash out, and talk a little more about this pretty amazing experience. All right, that is it. That was a hell of an experience. Sadly, we didn't end up in green since we're down $935. They sell some actions, so first I'm selling actions, sadly. But well, we still have tomorrow, since most people that sold action do have both days. So tomorrow's a 1K sit and go. So if we win that, we win I think $7,000, and we're way in the green, since down again now today, 935. So anyways, I don't think I got, didn't get the most hands, no premiums apart from the one ace king that I called 4-bet, and pretty happy with some bluffs I got through, and that one big one that he made the pretty crazy amazing call with his tiny pair when I triple barreled off, and it was a weird spot. Every time I showed my hand I had bluffs, I almost didn't have many spots to value, and I thought that, but I went for it. And if I saw his hand, I would have done it again. I definitely thought that was gonna fold. And anyways, definitely a pretty crazy experience. We bluffed Phil Galfond, so that's a memory I will not forget. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully run good in the 1K. But yeah, that stand-up game changed everything so much. Everyone was just way more bluffing, and yeah, sadly we just didn't get too many value hands apart from the set. And I was like, thank you, finally. We've been bluffing so much, we're gonna check raise here and they're not gonna believe us, but sadly that time he did. Well, he probably didn't have anything. But anyways, that is it. So thank you all for watching, and I'm just gonna say it, make sure subscribe, like, and comment, just in case this is a one-day video, and I'll be back here tomorrow.